Before we add a connection, let's take a peek at our portfolio design to plan out what we want each interaction to feel like. Which elements would we expect to be able to interact with, and what would it do? If a user clicks the button in a project card, where should they be taken to? Let's start building our prototype here. First, click Prototype in the right sidebar to access the prototyping features and properties. Now when we select and hover over the button, a new option appears, a blue circle on its edge. If we hover over the blue circle, it changes to a plus icon we can use to add a new connection. Click and drag from there to make a connection to the case study page frame. Once the noodle snaps to the frame, you can let go. Congratulations! You just made your first prototype connection. Figma also added a small blue label to our home page frame and named it Flow 1. The label shows the top-level frame where our prototype flow starts. An interaction menu also appeared. This is where we can make adjustments to the connection's properties, like its trigger or animation, without going to the right sidebar. Figma already set some of these properties. The trigger is set to on-click, the action to navigate to, and the destination to the case study page. This means that when a user clicks on the Project Cards button, they'll be taken to the case study page. Perfect! If you no longer need a connection, you can select it and press Delete to remove it. Or click and drag the connection to an empty space on the canvas and release it. You can also add interactions from the right sidebar. Let's use that to connect the contact button to the navigation bar. Select the button and click the plus in the interaction section and leave the trigger set to on-click. This time, we'll set the action to open link, which opens a web browser to a URL. You can enter any URL, like this link to Figma's Help Center, or use the prefix mail to with a colon, then an email address. This will open the user's mail app with that address pre-filled in the To field. This level of detail can add realism when testing your prototypes with others. This contact button actually exists on both of our pages, and we want both instances of the button to have the same behavior. To save time, let's select the connection we just created and copy it. Go to the Components page, select the button in the navigation component, and paste to apply the same connection. With the interaction added to the main component, we won't need to remember to add it again, even if new pages are added to our portfolio. Now that we've made some connections, let's preview them to see them in action. To play a flow, open the Prototyping tab and click the preview icon next to the flow starting point. You can also find all flows on the page in the right sidebar when you have nothing selected. For each flow, you can click the target icon to locate its starting frame, copy link to share the flow somewhere else, and preview to open the flow. Let's click that icon. Figma will open the prototype in a floating window called the Inline Preview. The window view is useful to check your prototype as you work. If you make a change to your design on the canvas, Figma will update the preview automatically. At the top of the window, you can use the arrows to navigate linearly through the frames that make up your prototype. You can also restart the prototype to the starting frame in the flow from here, or by pressing R on your keyboard. If you'd like to see your prototype at 100% of the resolution that you designed, you can resize the window to 100%. And if you'd prefer to see the prototype full screen, open it in Presentation View in the New tab. Presentation View is a more immersive experience as it uses your own device screen or monitor to display the prototype, just like a real site. You can also access Presentation View by clicking Present in the right sidebar. If you want to view it on a device frame like a phone or tablet instead, choose the device frame from the right sidebar while you have nothing selected. And if you ever want to change how your prototype fills the screen, try the Z key to cycle through different viewing options. Fill screen is handy when you're designing for a resolution that isn't the same as the device you're using. Let's click Present to view and test our prototype. In the prototype viewer, we can scroll using our trackpad or mouse wheel if the page is longer than the window, and scroll to our project cards. Clicking the button in the first card takes us to the case study page, just like we set up. From this page, click the Contact button in the header to open the Mail To link. Our prototype connections are working just like we set them up. Perfect! But I didn't really like how the nav at the top scrolled with the page instead of staying on the screen.